the traditional moniker of conference basketball. Home teams need to hold serve. Road teams need to steal at least a couple in order to be in the conversation at the end of the year. And so can North Georgia use the momentum from a last-second win on Saturday afternoon over Flagler? Can Georgia College respond from a gritty double overtime loss to an undefeated Young Harris team? Bobcats under the direction of first-year head coach Ryan Aquino. He was a long-time assistant coach there at Georgia College, and so there's some continuity within the team, but a lot of the same faces that were on the Bobcat team last year that I believe was an NCAA tournament participant. So I was able to sit down with Coach Evans earlier today and just kind of had a nice recap of the Saturday afternoon, and he was extremely proud of how well his team defended late and took away a lot of the things that Flagler was getting late in the game when it mattered. But he was a little concerned about how the team offensively executed at times. But you got to remember, we're less than 10 games into the season so far, so we're still trying to feel our way through. But I'm looking forward to a very well-contested, well-coached Peach Belt Conference game.
As you mentioned, just the second game of the Peach Belt Conference schedule for both of these teams. Georgia College, a tough double overtime loss to Young Harris. North Georgia with a nice home-time victory last week as well. So we're looking forward to that. We'll go ahead and send it to our first break on the Nighthawk Sports Network. And when we come back, we'll deliver the opening lineups and get you ready for tip. Again, you are watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of our family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center on the University of North Georgia campus. Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, and for all of our staff here on the Nighthawk Sports Network, thank you for being with us this evening. As the starting lineups being announced for the Bobcats, first out Austin Sloan out of Warner Robins, Georgia, and Houston County. Richard Crawford, the senior out of Evans, Georgia, and Greenbrier High School. Luke Chisholm, the 6'4 sophomore, a local product out of Dawson County. Brandon Thomas out of McDonough, Georgia, transfer from Mercer. And Christian Kahneman out of Chatsworth and Christian Heritage. Go to the lineups now for the University of North Georgia Nighthawks. Again, coming off of a great overtime win against the Flagler Saints on Saturday. As you see the great production team here at the University of North Georgia with the hype video. If you're watching us on our stream, we do want to thank our friends at Glory Sports Radio 97.5 and 1330 AM for being with us. Great crowd here on a Monday night here behind us. First up, number 3, Case Roach. Started all games for the Nighthawks here tonight. Frank Champion. We mentioned one of the best players, probably the best player on the team, one of the best ones in the Peach Belt Conference. Hunter Shedenhelm. Again, he started all games. Sutton Smith, who has also started all games, had a little bit of a tough game last time out. We're hoping to get a little bit more going offensively. And then last but certainly not least, Greg Billups, who has also started all games. And we mentioned this earlier, but Billups a sophomore, Smith a sophomore, Shedenham a junior, Frank Champion a sophomore, and Case Roach a sophomore. So some young guys that are learning it on the road. Hopefully they can figure it out here tonight. It's 20s on the clock. We're set for the first half of action here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Again, Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, TJ Campbell, executive producing tonight. And for the entire staff here, thank you all for joining us. Looking forward to tonight's contest. It should be a great one. And a fun fact about Georgia College, their entire team is from the state of Georgia. So University of North Georgia obviously recruits Georgia very well, as does Georgia College. So if you want to see some local products, you'll certainly see them here tonight. Here we mentioned Sutton Smith out of Alpharetta, Frank Champion out of Lithonia. Here to tip it off, Frank Champion going to be going up against Christian Kahneman out of Chatsworth. And the Nighthawks win the tip, and we're underway from Lynn Cottrell Arena at the Convocation Center. Sutton Smith up top directing traffic. Underneath the Shedenham. Billups mid-range jumper. That one's good. Good start for the Nighthawks. Coming up, Richard Crawford. 5'11". Swings it over to Luke Chisholm out of Dawsonville. Long 3, beautiful shot. Contested but made. Austin Sloan shooting 30% from 3. Nice start for him. UNG gets it to Champion. Again, easily one of the best players in the Peach Belt Conference. Moving in now. Contested layup, but made. Nice job there to get it up, Sutton Smith.
Nice job of Sutty right there, using his body on dribble penetration and jumping into the defender, and then on the separation, scoring over the big.
Underneath 2 there, big Christian Coleman at 6'7". Rotations here to Billups, now the Champion. Billups looks like he wanted to pull up, hands off underneath to Roach. Roach into a little bit of a trouble. Finds a nice cut, up and in by Smith. What a nice transition there, and nice chemistry on the offensive possession.
I tell you what, if you want to score layups in this game, young folks, when you see one of your teammates 2-foot stop in the paint, don't cut at the basketball, but cut at the rim and trust that their eyes will come up and find you. A lot of times in youth basketball, you see somebody with a with a dead dribble in the paint and the players run to him. Right there, Sutton did a good job of cutting to the basket.
You saw the pass on the other side almost worked for the Bobcats, but did not. So Nighthawks hold a 1-point lead here in the first 2 minutes of the game. This is Smith, back out top to Roach for a three. Beautiful shot in. 9-5 now. What a way to make a living as the Georgia College Bobcats take it back on their side. Outside, here's another three. That one's in. Richard Crawford. We can see early Richard Crawford and Sutton Smith going to be the two key pieces for these offenses here. Shedenham passes it off to Champion now, finds Roach on the perimeter again, and gets that one in. Wow, what a night shooting so far, 12-10.
Frank Champion's, I believe, first offensive touch of the night right there results in an assist. That's a good start.
An errant pass off the hand of Christian Koneman goes against the scorer's table, and the Nighthawks will take over. Case Roach to inbound here. Roach out of Travelers Rest, South Carolina. Underneath to Shedenham here, gets it outside. Here's Billups for a three. That one goes. 15-10 now, just 3 minutes off. Gets it back out top. This is Austin Sloan there. Running in, getting it out to Shedenham. Now Billups, and Shedenham's going to come away with it. Nighthawks up by 7, driving up and in with a right-handed shot. Beautiful lay as Sutton Smith comes back. That'll be his 6th point of the night.
That's crafty use of the dribble penetration there. Kind of shot it before he elevated. That kind of keeps the shot blocker off rhythm.
Richard Crawford seems to be handling the ball as much as possible for the Bobcats. Driving in now, back out to him. Contested three, he hits it. Goodness gracious.
That's a good challenge, though. These guys are making shots right now. It's not that it's terrible, faulty defense. It's high execution of offense.
Good look there for Roach, who drives in but doesn't go. And you see Champion here playing a little stout defense, now comes back. Nighthawks up by 6. Here's another three. That one doesn't go. Tipped away. UNG's going to get the rebound. Billups looked at the three, decided against it. Corner three. That one doesn't go. Case Roach there.
Made his first 2 from the top of the key. You always got to let a guy who's got a heat check feeling go ahead and run with it, although it was in the corner.
Luke Chisholm called for the foul. So we'll go ahead and pause on the Nighthawk Sports Network. You are watching North Georgia basketball.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Another fantastic crowd on tap at the Convocation Center here at the University of North Georgia. Nighthawks hold a 6-point lead. Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, and for all the staff on the Nighthawk Sports Network, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to this one. So far early, it's been bombs away. And the scoring slowed down just a little bit since then, but to start, it seemed like nobody could miss.
A couple substitutions here out of the timeout.
A.J. White, the speedy freshman, comes in, and the Nighthawk of the week, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Giancarlo Bastianoni checks in. He was a huge part of the game. And in for Georgia College, Chris Parks at 6'5". My goodness, he's got to be at least 250. He is well built. And also Zaire Green out of Lithonia. Looks like Chapin Ryerson as well out of Calhoun. And Brendan Rigsby out of Swanee. So almost a full transition for the Bobcats. Travel there against Bastianoni. Carrying it up here is Luke Chisholm, the one guy that stayed on the floor. Outside to Zaire Green, and underneath to Chris Parks. Again, Parks out of Buford. And a steal. UNG in transition. This is Champion, goes up, lays it in. Nice job using his body to block the defender out. And the Nighthawks back up by 6.
Credit the steal there to Greg Billis, man. He just anticipated where that ball was going and put his body in front of the cutter.
Off the leg of Georgia College and going to UNG as we have another substitution checking out, Hunter Shettenham. And in comes Mikhail Bethea. You see A.J. White carrying it up here. Again, the freshman out of Memphis. An incredible spark plug for this offense. Here for Billups from the corner. That one just a little bit too much. Georgia College coming back the other way.
He refuses to let a dribbler get around him, does Greg. He is just such a high-level defender. See, he's just bothering. He just cuts penetration off.
This Nighthawk defense known for their efficiency, as this is a 3, a little bit too much on that one, but rebounded by the Bobcats. Cutting back in now, underneath to the big man. And nothing but air that time as he goes tumbling to the floor, does Chris Parks. Underneath to Bastianoni, nice feed there from Champion. Back the other way for the Bobcats. With the ball, Luke Chisholm. Bothered by Bastianoni, he kicks it back. UNG ball. And it looks like Billups is going to check out now, and will come Sutton Smith. (21-13). 13 and a half minutes left to play here in the first half of action. A.J. White at the side of the key, takes it in. Mid-range jumper. A nice rebound up top by Brennan Rigsby. Rigsby with the ball, bothered and trapped, but gets it out to Parks. Parks with some contact underneath, no call. Rebound by A.J. White. Mikhail Bethea here, and stepped out is the call. And we have another substitution. In comes Case Roach, checking out Frank Champion the first time tonight.
Both coaches arguing that last offensive possession there. One of them wanted a charge, one of them wanted a flop.
They're both arguing, probably means you got the call right.
Maybe perhaps that is the right call.
Here's a long 3. Wow, beautiful shot though. Chapin Ryerson out of Calhoun, shooting 30% from 3. That was about 3 feet behind the arc. Bastianoni with a 3. That one's in. He's on fire from 3 right now. He had a great night shooting from beyond that arc on Saturday.
Good
Parks
defense
over there. Rigsby getting bothered now. Then you see Sutton Smith giving him the business, blocked by Bethea, and a nice job by Smith to collect that ball before it went out of bounds. And now we got hard contact over there. So we'll go ahead and take another timeout. Again, you're watching the Nighthawk Sports Network in North Georgia basketball.
A staple in downtown Dahlonega, the Smith House Country Store, Restaurant, and Hotel offers various types of accommodations for visitors and has been serving family-style country cooking since 1922, just off the historic Dahlonega Square. Amicalola Propane is locally owned and operated and provides propane sales, service, and repair to farms, homes, and businesses. Amicalola Propane is dedicated to making customers' lives more comfortable, and their knowledgeable staff will help with both residential and commercial propane needs. Walton & Company Realty is dedicated to serving you with all of your real estate needs. Their team of professionals will help you with everything from transaction coordination, marketing, and representing you as a buyer or seller, and has a goal of making your transaction run as smoothly as possible. For more information, visit waldenco.com.
Back at the Convocation Center here on the campus of the University of North Georgia. Let's pause for our friends on the Glory Sports Radio 97.5, 1330 AM for station identification. Again, a special thank you to all of our radio listeners, and wherever you may be watching from, a good evening to you. Will Cooper alongside Lee Glenn and the rest of our Nighthawk Sports Network crew. Hoping you're all doing well, staying safe, getting ready for the holidays here as it's finals week on the campus of University of North Georgia, and we're celebrating by opening Peach Belt Conference play this weekend. As here you see Sutton Smith with the ball. And driving in, A.J. White. Again, the freshman had a fantastic game. He's going to pull up for a long three and contest it off the front of the rim. Coming back the other way, Jamal Taylor, first time we've seen him out of Sparta, Georgia. Nice move there to get up and in, and that cuts the lead down to 6. So Jamal Taylor replaced Chris Parks. Still on the floor, Zaire Green we see currently. Bastianoni going to try another three. That one just off the mark. A.J. White working against Jamal Taylor, but it's turnover. Nighthawks working back the other way. Laid up and in. Nice job by Smith there. Full speed, laid it up and in. And he's going to go to the line to convert the three-point play.
Sutton had a turnover late in the game on Saturday afternoon, so we kind of bad taste in his mouth, right? But played a pretty good game overall, and you can tell that he's out here today looking for a little bit of redemption because he's not a overly aggressive scorer, but he's facilitating, and both of his baskets have come off of very intentional reach-in steals.
Checking back into the game, Billups, Shedenham, and Champion. Smith converts the three-point play, so the lead extended now to 9. And about halfway through the first half of action.
Look at Greg.
Turnover. Billups hands it back underneath and blocked. Good job there by Brennan Rigsby to block the shot, as that was Hunter Shedenham who tried to put it up with the right hand, and it did not go.
Greg is just turning people over by himself on the front of that press.
Really a key part to this UNG team, not so much the points, but the defensive ability. As this is a nice mid-range jumper on the catch there from Shedenham. Comes in averaging 8.4 points per game. That's his first points of the night.
That's tough too right there as well.
Yeah.
Curl, baseline, pull-up, jumper.
Nighthawks by 11, 29-18. Billups again showing the defensive prowess. Doesn't get a hand on it, but forces a bad pass.
He's going to get a hand on that one.
And he does, pokes it away. Look out, in transition, Shedenham. Forces the contact on the floor. They're going to call it on the floor. But still, just Georgia College forcing the issue right now, and this UNG defense doing a great job getting their hand on it, forcing it away, and they've had a lot of fast breaks on the opposite end.
Yeah, that's, we're not an overly fast open floor transition team. We like the ball played in possession, but anytime we can generate still, we want early offense before the defense can get set.
Champion bounces it off of a Bobcat foot, but retains possession, gets it back out to Sydenham. Good ball movement here from the Nighthawks. Billups for a three. Just off the front of the rim, almost found its way in anyway, but doesn't go. We see on the floor Brendan Thomas again, checks back in. He checked back in for Jamal Taylor. Driving into the lane, and we have an offensive foul against Christian Kohnman. They've had a couple of offensive fouls here early.
Yeah, good job of the right there. That was just chest to chest on the bigs. That wasn't coming off of a rotation. Case just did a good job of sacrificing his body and being a wall and absorbing just enough contact to displace him.
Georgia College going to be careful. They got 4 fouls already. As that was attempted with the left hand by Sutton Smith and easily denied on the opposite end by Chisholm. I feel like Chisholm may be putting forth his best effort back home, getting out of Dawson County High School.
Yeah.
Redshirt sophomore, mid-range jumper here for Sydenham off the side of the rim. Substitutions coming up for the Nighthawks. Under 9 minutes to play. They're going to call a lot of contact there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we got switched into that matchup there, or maybe that is the matchup, but
Chisholm's 6'4" against Sutton Smith at 5'11", and Smith's going to check out, and in will come A.J. White. That was the first foul of the night on the Nighthawks. Three here, no good. Tipped away, but UNG's going to keep possession. Champion with a little bit of speed. And underneath it is rebounded by Georgia College after the missed layup. Finding an open man, putting it up for three off the front of the rim was Christian Kohnman on the attempt. Nighthawks up by 11. Here's another three. That one no good. Nighthawks getting a little three happy here.
I don't think Coach Evans too happy about that one. One pass, ball never changed sides of the floor.
Billups, good defense inside. He's going to draw the foul here.
He is, I mean, I tell you what, if there's people out there watching that want to show how to defend, Greg Billups is that poster child. I mean, he has bought in to wanting to guard the basketball, and he refuses to require his teammates to rotate.
And you saw that interaction there. The official went up and having a conversation with him, but you can see it's good nature. It's smiling.
Yeah.
You know, just wants to know what he did. And
it's an art to him.
So always working on his craft. It's really a pleasure to watch him. Defense is something that's kind of been lost in the game. But Nighthawks up by 9 after the two made free throws there off the hand of Luke Chisholm. Champion here out to Roach. Continuing that ball movement at the top of the key. Sydenham with the hand fakes, gets it out to White. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Billups drives, gonna have to get it up soon. Wow, how did that go in? Put it up over his back. 2 Bobcats surrounded him, but still goes in. Nighthawks back up by 11. You see Billups back to work defensively. Nice move there. Passed it to himself, up and in. Fantastic job by Brandon Thomas. That's incredible. 6'3", redshirt junior out of McDonough, Georgia, and former member of the Mercer University basketball team. A.J. White to the right of the basket. That's a beautiful floater up and in.
I think that optically may be a bad shot. A little 5'11" guy pulling up and fading away, but it's like a layup to AJ.
Everything he does silky smooth, unlike that pass that found its way out of bounds, and that will be another timeout. So we'll go ahead and take it with them. Nighthawks up by 11. You are watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
Live from Lim Cottrell Arena at the UNG Convocation Center, you see Coach Dan Evans talking to his Nighthawks, who hold an 11-point lead, 33-22. 6:41 left to play in the first half. Will Cooper, the coach, Lee Glenn, and our staff here on the Nighthawk Sports Network, and our friends on Sports Radio 97.5 and 1330 AM. Thank you all for being with us on this Monday night. UNG to take over possession. Coming out here, Billups, champion, Mikal Bethea, AJ White, and Bastianoni out on the floor. Bethea hands it off to White. Inside Billups, a nice little lane denied on the back end by Brendan Rigsby. What a nice block out of Rigsby.
Both these teams are doing an honorable job of protecting their rim on when players get beat off the bounce on the perimeter.
Over the head pass, complete if you will, to AJ White. Out to Billups. Into the lane, a lot of hand fighting in there, laid up, and Bastianoni tried to get the offensive rebound, didn't go. Quickly in transition. The Bobcats back. Here's a three. That one just off the back of the net, but an offensive rebound by the Bobcats, and another one. Richard Crawford going to attempt the second three of the possession. Doesn't go. Chris Parks underneath the force was able to get that back out to him as Mikal Bethea goes to the lane, and he's called with a foul. Checking in for Greg Billups now, Sutton Smith. And you can tell underneath the basket, Chris Parks, again, 6'5", out of Buford. We don't have his weight listed, but I mean, he's 6'5", 250. Underneath now, nice job to wait and put it back up. Chapin Ryerson. Kind of a local product out of Calhoun, North Georgia at least. Out here to Champion. Shot clock down below 15 now. Back out to Bastianoni. Another good look for a three, just a little bit off the mark. Nighthawks nursing a 9-point lead. Getting close to 5 minutes left in the half. A good look here for Ryerson, just off the side. We mentioned how when the game started, nobody could miss, and it seems like recently nobody can make
a bit of a lull.
Yeah,
good point. A little bit of a lull.
You know, basketball is a game of averages. Everything always averages itself out. So they may have been shooting 100% for the first 5 minutes of the game, but certainly not recently.
Also, every game has a settling in point as well.
Excellent point there. Smith had a look, decided not to take it. Probably a good decision there as Rigsby was in to challenge it. Champion puts it up with the right, draws the foul. Chris Parks called for the foul. So again, Champion to the line. Got a couple of subs coming up. It looks like Sydenham and Roach are going to check in for the Nighthawks. First one off the back of the rim, so the lead stays at 9 as A.J. White will check out. Again, North Georgia 33, Georgia College 24. And the second one is no good, so no points out of that possession. Champion comes in shooting just under 66% from the charity stripe. I'm sure he'd like to improve that metric. It's good pass and ball movement here from Georgia College. There was a good looking three, no good. Tried to be tipped back up and in by Ryerson, but doesn't go. Champion with speed gets his pocket picked, but it ends up in Bethea's hands. Outside, good look here. Sydenham for three, hammers it home.
Good find there. Mikel Bethea on that find.
A little bit of chaos on that offensive possession. Stayed calm and found the right man. Tell Georgia College trying to move the ball a little better. In the corner again. This is Ryerson. That three-pointer just off the mark. Smith carries it back out. Underneath, outside to Sydenham. He's going to drive. Tipped up, tipped back to Bastianoni. Nice play to tip it back. Sutton Smith mid-range jumper, that'll go. Nighthawks quickly up by 14.
Good job to get that floater up on the rim before help defense got to him.
Bastianoni inside, playing a little defense here. Champion there, let's see who it's out on. And it will stay Georgia College ball. So we will pause for our final timeout of the half. Nighthawks up by 14. You are watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Nighthawks starting out early with a nice lead, 14 points, 38-24 over the visiting College and State Bobcats. They've recently changed the name, so as you see it on the bottom of your score screen, GCSU. As you see the huddle break for the Nighthawks. Georgia College will inbound it on their offensive side. Looks like the same lineup as they went out with. So no substitutions for the Nighthawks. In for Georgia College, Austin Sloan. Nice defense by Bethea, doesn't get it, but forces the issue. And here's a three just off the front of the rim for Zaire Green. Sydenham wide open three. Yes. You're going to leave him that open. He's got to take it.
Catch and shoot, moving forward at the rim, a three-point shooter statistically. That is a shot we take 8 days a week.
Sydenham shooting over 46% now from 3 points. Up and in, a foul called. To the line goes Zaire Green. Green has not seen much action this year. Only 2 games played coming into this one. Hasn't started yet as the first one's up and through. Averaged about 13 minutes over those 2 games as Sutton Smith checked out for A.J. White. Seems like they've been trying to make him a focus of this offense early. And the second free throw does not go. Quick outside to Roach. As Georgia College trying to play a little pressure here. Bastianoni at the top. Shedenham trying to find some room, tries to get it underneath the Bastianoni and does. Size advantage underneath. Bastianoni manhandles him and puts it up.
That's a good body composure right there. Probably the most impressive thing on that play was the catch, actually.
Up by 18 now are the Nighthawks. 43-25. So you see Sloan here. Back up at the top. Here's a 3. That one eventually finds the bottom of the net. Luke Chisholm did everything he could to miss it, but it finally got in.
A soft shot.
Underneath, A.J. White drives and hits a couple of Bobcats in the hands, but they bring it inbounds, and that'll be a turnover. Lead cut to 15 for the Nighthawks. In rotation, Zaire. Laid up underneath, a lot of contact, no call. Again, this is Chisholm, now back out to Sloan. Zaire from range, that one's good. Less than a minute left to go here in the half. Bobcats making a little bit of a comeback. Nighthawks holding a 12-point lead, though. Down by 18 earlier. Bastianoni drives up and in. He's going to get the call. We're going to have some substitutions coming up here. Looks like they're going to get Billups back out, as well as the Bobcats. Chapin Ryerson's going to come back out as well. Bastianoni converts the first one. He's got a pretty free throw shot. Shedenham checks out, so Billups is the substitution. And we have a timeout.
Keep it here, 30-second break. That's Georgia College's use it or lose it timeout.
Anything that stood out to you here early? I mean, it seems like Georgia College, to start with, everybody made their shots, then there was a little bit of a lull. They got into some foul trouble. Seems like they've been able to control that now, and it's turned into a little bit more of a back-and-forth game.
Yeah, the settling in point. Like both teams came out knowing that it's kind of a rivalry game, similar schools, and both teams came out just throwing haymakers, and we were actually going in, but then the game kind of settled in, and some shots were missed. Teams really figured out how they wanted to defend. And North Georgia was able to stretch its lead pretty wild at one point, but then Georgia College responded here with a couple of consecutive made threes. So 42 seconds left, probably 2 possessions out of that. We'll see what kind of happens here. And needless to say, North Georgia's going to get into the locker room with a comfortable lead.
North Georgia forcing the issue with some pressure on defense. Here's a 3 in transition. Beautiful shot up and in by Brandon Thomas. He's a big part of this offense. And we have a timeout. Let's talk about Brandon Thomas for a minute here. Out of McDonough, 6'3", redshirt junior. I think for them, they want to get him going from the floor, shooting 43.8 from the floor, 32% from beyond the arc, and only 31% from the free throw line. So having a little bit of a hard start getting going there, but definitely watching him with the ball and seeing how confident he is. Once he gets going, he's going to be a force for this Bobcats team.
Yeah, and you can see that his shot there is kind of feeding off of the momentum from some of the earlier shots. It's kind of like hitting in baseball, it can kind of gain momentum itself, and when you string a couple hits or you string a couple makes together, sometimes then average marginal shooters can shoot at a higher percentage, or guys that bat 220 seem to kind of keep the hits going. So it's all about momentum.
24 seconds left in the half. Roach to inbound, gets it over to Champion. Champion back on the floor to finish out this half. A.J. White, we mentioned Roach, Shedham over on the side, and Billups. They're going to burn the rest of this half if they can. Again, no shot clock, just 10 seconds left in the half. Up by 10. Champion trying to make something happen inside. Lots of contest, nothing doing, but draws the foul, so he'll go to the line for 2. Guilty party that time, Brandon Thomas. His second of the night. It's a good time for them. That's up to 7 fouls, so with 2.5 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, probably not going to give up another one there.
Good time to get to that number.
Yeah.
If there ever is a good time to get to that number, we should say. Champion handles home the first one. Jamal Taylor at 5'9" for the Bobcats checks in here. Again, out of Sparta, Georgia, and Hancock Central High School. Champion converts both. 2.6 seconds. Georgia College will inbound. Getting it up, overneath, high pointed the ball, kicked around. UNG tries to put one last up. Oh, it almost goes in from half court. Hunter Shedham tried to put it up, but it just bounces off the back of the rim. So that'll take us to halftime. Your North Georgia Nighthawks up 46-34 over the Georgia College Bobcats. We'll pause for halftime and be back with a halftime report. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Leadership is fueled by vision and passion. Leadership is service with empathy, creativity, and integrity. Leadership is seeking continuous improvement for yourself and your community. Since 1873, the University of North Georgia has prepared generations of civic, professional, and military leaders. Today, UNG is a leading regional university that serves students across 5 campuses and online, with educational pathways ranging from associate degrees to doctoral programs. And as one of only 6 senior military colleges in the nation, UNG holds designations as a state leadership institution and as the Military College of Georgia. UNG's national reputation and student profile are growing stronger each year, and we remain focused on student success and academic excellence at all levels. Across UNG, our incredible faculty and staff are scholars and mentors who inspire service, inquiry, and creativity. And resume-building experiences help each student fulfill their potential. We know the value of determination and teamwork in and out of the classroom, and this spirit pushes our students to excel on the field, serve our communities, and explore the world. When the day is done, the real measure of our success lies in who our graduates become. Outstanding leaders for a diverse and global society. The University of North Georgia.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
When I reflect back to what the University of North Georgia brought to me, how it prepared me for my career, that leads me to give back.
Our donors have had an incredible impact on the University of North Georgia.
A friend of mine called and told me about the Eagle Fund, and having an opportunity to see the Corps of Cadets, it just brought things alive to me, and I felt like I needed to get involved.
One of my favorite things to do as a dean is working with donors, helping people find what they're passionate for and how that fits with what we're doing in the college. And I have found out that when you do that, it's really a win-win for everyone.
There aren't many institutions that can claim to have 150 years under their belt. The history is absolutely phenomenal. To look at all the different names we've had, to look at now 5 campuses, and yet each campus has their own traditions, their own climate, their own culture, and to be able to merge those together into one, which has done tremendous things for economic development for our entire region.
We are preparing that workforce. We know that many of them want to stay in the area, and we know that by providing talent for the area, we are making a difference.
Not only do we benefit from a healthcare standpoint, but our entire community benefits as the graduates that are coming from UNG are contributing to this very vibrant, growing region.
When you have a community that embraces the university and the university embraces the community, there's so much magic that happens. And we've got to instill to the local community that we're here for them and that we want them to be here for our students.
When donors get engaged, it really elevates the university. I think about the Cottrells. These are individuals who feel passionate about the things they give to.
I have witnessed over my many years our donors who get involved with our students directly impact them from sage advice to direct financial support. The role of our donors has really been phenomenal, and it is critically important to our future.
The donors like the Cottrells and hundreds more have done so much to preserve the integrity, the quality, and the future of this great institution.
Congratulations on 150 years.
It's absolutely wonderful, and we should be very, very proud of our institution and what it stands for.
Our donors are that bedrock of excellence from which we build.
To me, the scholarships are enduring. They're going to be here from here on out.
As we look back on donors over our 150-year history, their impact will be felt for the next 150 years.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Celebrating 150 years and having a sesquicentennial is not something that many institutions can claim. It's a time for us to reflect on our history, but to also project on what more can we do to help students make sure they're successful and they graduate.
We all know how important education is to one's life because it determines what kind of career you can have.
Scholarships make all the difference.
College has always been, something that we were worried about, but because of the scholarship, I'm able to play the sport I love and not worry about financials.
Scholarships to me have helped so much in my experience here.
It's definitely done wonders for me, set me up for success.
We recruit strong students, and it's our job to make them better prepared for their next step in their education and their careers.
When the water rises, all ships rise. That's what happens when more and more people can get higher education, then go on to succeed and become responsible citizens.
It relieves a lot of pressure.
It is a stress reliever for when you're taking difficult classes, and that's what really got me through this semester, I would say.
Scholarships have helped take the burden of paying for college and help me out with getting certifications for cyber. If you had to work your entire college career, I don't think you would have ever gotten the college experience I've gotten.
Scholarships are really critical. The importance of it is that you will provide opportunities for more people to go to college and to finish college because so many of these students do not have the wherewithal to go to college.
It would be very hard for me to get an education and play the sport I love without the scholarship.
If you don't have those scholarships, you see students not returning because they can't come up with $300. The stories can be heartbreaking.
If I didn't receive scholarships, my college experience would not be anything what it is today.
If I didn't have scholarships, I would have to pick up a full-time. And because of that, I wouldn't probably be able to experience the clubs or the organizations I've been a part of.
Thank you so very much to all of those who have supported the university, sometimes monetarily, but also also with their service, with their dedication, with their advice. It's all greatly appreciated and very much needed.
If I could say anything to the donors, it would just be thank you. You've taken a huge weight off my shoulders, allowing me to get the full experience of college and put my passions first.
I'm very thankful for this scholarship. It's been a great experience, and I've learned a lot of lessons also.
I have a good time here.
The memories that I've had, it's going to last me a lifetime. I cannot believe I'm leaving here. Not ready for it.
Absolutely love this place. I definitely would not be the man I am without it. I'm excited to come back as an alumni and hopefully one day be in the financial position to do the exact same thing these scholarship donors are doing.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center in Lynn Cottrell Arena on the campus of the University of North Georgia in Dahlonega, Georgia. Will Cooper alongside the coach Lee Glenn and our staff here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Thank you all for joining us here for this halftime report. We were looking over some numbers over the break, Lee. A couple of things that stand out. I think the big one is Sutton Smith. Come in averaging 3.9 points per game, up to 11 already, 5 out of 6 from the floor. I know he's had some fits and starts getting started on offense and trying to get that 43.5 shooting percent average up, and he certainly has done that in the first half.
Yeah, he's not really much of a scoring guard, but he's more of a facilitating point guard and just an extension of the coach on the floor. And had a turnover late that we mentioned against Flagler that I know for a fact, knowing the young man, that he just wanted to redeem himself and has come out and really been in control of not only his game but the game. He's moved the basketball and got us in the things that we need to get into, scored a couple tough twos and defended his position really well. Defensively for the Nighthawks, we forced 11 turnovers. That's a really good number for us. Not leading into a ton of transition points, only 5 on the entire game, but at least it's putting pressure on the Georgia College offense. North Georgia had extended up to as many as 18 points here midway through the first half, but Georgia College was able to mount a little bit of a run to only trail by 12 here at the break. This is stark contrast from the women's game, where both teams were shooting like middle 30s on average, and It just wasn't a spectator-friendly game because teams in that game really didn't settle until near the end of the third quarter. Here, I thought both teams settled rather early, and you've got one team, both teams shooting plus or minus around 50%, so it's a much more spectator-friendly kind of game, but one that's really highlighted by balance, to be honest with you. You mentioned Sutton Smith's 11 points. We've got Frank with 4, Case with 2 made threes and 6. Hunter's got 8 on a couple made threes. Greg's got 7, and Giancarlo's also got 8, so it's just really good balance, and that's kind of how Coach Evans wants his team to play. Fundamental foundation is defense and opportunistic offense.
Well, they certainly have played a very good game defensively as well, holding Georgia College to 34 points in the first half. That put them on pace for 68. Meanwhile, the Nighthawks offense on pace for 92. So obviously, I don't think it'll get that wide, but going into half, up by 12, you certainly feel like the conversation at halftime was probably a little bit more friendly than, some previous games where the Nighthawks have been a little bit closer competition.
Yeah, you just want to kind of get to the break. Both teams are trying to get to the break. Now, Nighthawks will go on a road trip down to Tampa, Florida, and play in a tournament over the weekend. I'm not sure what Georgia College's remaining schedule is, but you just want to get to the break on a positive note. And winning basically a buzzer beater on Saturday afternoon, you didn't want to come back and lay an egg. And the only thing that you can control, you can't necessarily control how well you shoot it and how many shots go in, but what you can control is how you team defend. And the Nighthawks are absolutely committed. It's been a while since I've seen them. Georgia College is a pretty efficient offensive team. And it's been a while since I've seen a North Georgia team really clamp down on a group like we're doing and make it hard. Think about the shots that you reflect back on Georgia College making. Long, kind of rangy, distance threes. Well, those can be fool's gold, and I think that is a testament to the Nighthawk defense.
Yeah, we saw that, making all those threes to start. They fell back down to the average. Still 7 out of 17 from beyond the arc, 41%, pretty good. Just from the floor, shooting 46 as a team, that's kind of hard to get by. But you're exactly right. They haven't had the quality looks. You look at, North Georgia and some of their attempts on the floor, and it seems like there's just a little bit more space for them. There's just an extra step in the lane. There's just a lot more range for them that they're able to take advantage of. As we got about 30 seconds left, you mentioned some of the personal, individual statistics here for Georgia College. Richard Crawford leading the team with 8 points. It's kind of a collective effort, 2, 3, 8, 5, 5, 5, 4, and 2 for the round out the group. It's just kind of been a overall get it to who you can and no real one star, just like you mentioned for North Georgia. It's been hard to single out one guy. So that hopefully will carry on throughout to the second half.
I think an interesting tidbit off of GC's box score, too, is aside from Luke Chisholm's 17 minutes, really it's a very balanced lineup of 10 guys that are playing kind of equal minutes.
Keeping them fresh, maybe. Again, playing within 48 hours. As Georgia College back to work here, has the ball to start the possession. Again, Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, the rest of the Nighthawk Sports Network staff. 46-34 coming out of half. Nighthawks up by 12. Long pass here. Contested three, misses everything there for Austin Sloan. Again, out of Houston County in Warner Robins, Georgia.
That's a good Georgia high school geography there. A lot of people will call that Houston.
Appreciate that. Yeah. I've made that mistake on air timer 12, so. It's the one that gets me is Troup County.
Yep.
Georgia College takes back over after a Nighthawk turnover. Pulled up for a three, decided against it, hands it off, now back. Again, this is Brandon Thomas, and it's basically a game of catch between Thomas and underneath with Chisholm, who draws the foul. And that was against Sheddenham.
It's going to end up being a foul. Free throws. They'll probably get value out of the possession here. But, man, such fun to watch how North Georgia was doing such a great job of not locking into a man. They were locking into a responsibility, and just they would stunt to help and then help the helper and then recover. And Greg just left his man right there and went and stopped penetration on his own. It was fun to watch. Good defense.
They actually get nothing out of the possession. Missed both free throws there. So Georgia College trying to force the issue now defensively. Hand it back off to Roach, over to Champion. Sutton Smith, as we mentioned, the leading scorer in the first half with 11, back on the floor. Wide pass here. Sheddenham finds it off a bounce for the three, in and out. Tough look. Georgia College back the other way. Again, Brandon Thomas, the ball carrier here. Little contact, no call. And got a scrum for the ball underneath the glass after the missed shot. Put back up by Chisholm, and now there's another scrum for the ball. And finally coming away with it as champion.
Watch out, Frank in the open court. Normally means good things for our offense.
Gives it to Phillips, under spin move, mismatch, watch out, he's up and in.
When Frank goes, it's just normally good things happen for us on the other end.
Not selfish at all, knew that there was a better opportunity for someone else and gave it up, get the assist. Richard Crawford with the ball, now gives it off to Sloan. Mid-range jumper, that one goes. Pretty shot.
Yeah, over and outstretched champion hand.
Nighthawks up by 12. Setting a screen as champion, gets around it though. Good communication here with the Nighthawks. Champion, a nice feed underneath the Shednam, just doesn't go over the back pass. And good defense on the back end by Smith to tip it back into Champion. Intercepted a pass. And coming back the other way now. Case Roach gets it back off to Champion. Mikhail Bethea going to come out and sub in at some point. And we have our first foul. Guilty party, Austin Sloan.
Slow start here to the second half, only 59 seconds away from the first media.
Shednam checks out. Now we have more substitutions coming back in. In comes Chris Parks and Chapin Ryerson. Sloan checks out. Koneman checks out as well. On the catch, Roach with a three, just a little short. Back the other way. Here's Smith communicating with his team. Here's a three attempt just off the back of the rim, but rebounded by Georgia College off the offensive glass. Again, Brandon Thomas is pulling the trigger here early, just hasn't been able to make much fall, only has 5 points on the night. Does have 5 boards though. Good ball movement. Corner three, that one doesn't go. That was the big man Chris Parks on the attempt, again out of Buford. In transition, Smith all the way across to Roach. Great ball movement here from the Nighthawks in return. Champion tried to get up underneath. Draws the foul that time. I believe that's going to be against Parks. It'll be a loose ball foul. Gets it out to Billups quickly here. Champion with the ball, trying to find someone across the court, doesn't work. Off the hand, though, of a Bobcat, Richard Crawford, just kind of unintentionally, and that'll send us to our first timeout. Nighthawks up by 12. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
I need to try it first.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you could buy your next vehicle without going to the dealership? Now you can with Beaver Direct. It's fast and really simple. Log into BeaverToyotaComing.com, click on Beaver Direct, quietly shop from hundreds of vehicles, obtain a credit approval and trade appraisal in
Back to the Convocation Center, Lynn Cottrell Arena on the campus of the University of North Georgia. Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, and the rest of our Nighthawk Sports Network staff, thank you all for being with us. And a thank you to our friends on Glory Sports Radio 97.5 and 1330 AM for being with us on this Monday night as we're officially creeping into the 9 o'clock hour. 15:51 left to play. After it was out of bounds on the Bobcats, the Nighthawks will inbound it on their offensive side with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Again, up by 12. This is off the hand of Billups, and in transition, Chris Parks going to take it for the Bobcats. Zaire Green wanted the three, decided against it. Zaire Green is going to take the three now, and that one is a beautiful shot right from the top of the key, up and in, and the lead is cut back down to 9.
Confident shot off the dribble handoff there from Green.
Billups with the ball, dishes it around. Mikhail Bethea with it right now. Underneath, finds Champion on an underhand pass. Champion working underneath against Parks, up and in. Nice physical play underneath. Lead back out to 11, 50-39. Green gives it back to Parks. Now over to Brendan Rigsby. Rigsby working against Bethea, lays it up, misses with the left hand. Scrum for the ball on the bottom, taking a hard fall. Bethea helped up by his crew. And to the line for two goes Rigsby, who drew the foul.
Georgia College not going away here.
Still down by 11, but plenty of ball game left, 14:44 on the clock. First free throw up and in, cuts the lead down to 10. Substitutions here for the Nighthawks. Bastianoni and A.J. White check in for Case Roach and Sutton Smith. Again, to attempt the second one, Rigsby. Up, and that one is in too. Shooting 55.5% from the charity stripe. Improved his average with that one.
Yeah, he looked, that second one looked real good coming off of his hand.
Hardly moved the net. Frank Champion at the top. Now down to A.J. White, the spark plug mid-range jumper. Just off the front of the rim. Tried to get his own rebound, doesn't work. In transition, this is Crawford, look out. Gets it to Rigsby, he's going to drive, a lot of contact inside, gets the foul.
Rigsby, I thought, kind of was walled up really well there, but just enough contact to displace the basketball from the shooter and generate the whistle. So back to the free throw line. We'll see if he can make even. Left-handed. Why do left-handed shooters look like better shooters than right-handed shooters?
I'll
It's
claim
weird.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you lefty?
I'm lefty.
Yeah.
And just because you said that.
Talked him out of it.
Made one of the two, so the lead cut down to 8 now. Just over 14 minutes left. Substitutions upcoming for the Nighthawks. Nice feed there. Champion fed by White on a bounce pass. Found it up and in. Lead back out to 10. Inside pass, ball movement. Zaire Green along 3. That one's in. Starting to find his range from 3 points.
Talking about looking good coming off of his hand. They got this thing down to 7 now.
UNG faithful reminding them of who is on the lead in the scoreboard. Frank Champion going to attempt a 3, misses everything there. Opposite in Green on a fast break, lays it up and in. Wow, what a nice move. Lead now down to 5. A.J. White. Bastianoni at the top of the key. He's been on fire from 3 points. Nice pass out to A.J. White, cuts into the lane, gets it tipped by a Bobcat. Now they've got another fast break. This is Crawford. Bastianoni going to defend it and does a great job and gets called for the foul. Coach Evans would like an explanation on that one. You see Bastianoni having a conversation.
Landed on the floor really hard, but I don't know if that was his own doings or not. But regardless, getting to the free throw line with a chance to get this.
Missed that one. It's Crawford. We got subs coming in. Sheddenham and Smith check back in. Austin Sloan also checks in for the Bobcats. Off goes White and Billups. You mentioned Crawford shoots 85% from the free throw line, so rare miss there for him. And he missed both of them. That'll work. Nighthawks up by 5. A little bit of a run here by the Bobcats, though. Good ball movement. Bethea here going to drive in. Underneath the Champion. Champion takes it up, draws the foul. Good feed by Bethea to find Champion, and he'll get to go to the line for 2.
No doubt. Miguel did a good job of going baseline, pulling the big defender to him off the line there. Frank got into available space and caught the pass, and I thought he was going to go up and dunk it, but got fouled on his way up. So shoot 2 free throws here, 12:47 to go.
Champion has that one up and in. Came in just shooting below 66% from that line. I think that's gone up now as the lead is extended back to 6. And misses the second one. So maintains a 6-point lead. Crawford with the ball, working against Bethea. Bethea backs up. Nice pass to Brendan Rigsby. Baseline working against a group of Nighthawks. Back out for 3, a little bit too short off the hand of Ryerson. And back the other way go the Nighthawks. Nice ball movement. Champion to Sheddenham. Back to Champion. Up and in. The Bobcats are doing a nice job of contesting that inside.
Yeah, he's just so talented. Just high-end professional use of his pivot foot.
Bethea called for the foul, and that'll take us to a timeout. We'll take it with them. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. My bad on that one.
Chick-fil-A of Delano.
Just a 5-yard penalty. It'll be correct in the next dead ball after 2 seconds.
So back to work go the Bobcats. Oh, blocked there. Nice job.
Now.
By Sheddenham. And now we have the timeout. My apologies. So we'll send it to that break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back to the Convocation Center on the University of North Georgia campus. Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, the rest of our Nighthawk Sports Network staff, thank you for being with us. Nighthawks up by 8, 55-47. Bobcats got it back within 5. The Nighthawks have found a way to extend it back out, though. 11:55 left to play here in the second half of action. Again, Peach Belt Conference play between two Peach State programs in Georgia College and North Georgia. Here to inbound, Richard Crawford. Outside. It's Brandon Thomas now over to Rigsby. Shot clock down below 10 now. Here's a 3, contested just off a little bit, then put back in by Rigsby. What a nice play.
Yeah, Rigsby's kind of relentless. He's chased a couple offensive rebounds and hadn't gotten one. And
nice ball movement from the Nighthawks. Same lineup as they went into the break with. Bethea for 3, just a little short. And Crawford comes up with the rebound. Here's the 3 for him, just off the side of the rim. Tipped over to Bethea. Bethea trying to weave his way in between a couple of Bobcats, spins it back off and waits for some reinforcements.
Good decision there.
Champion over to Smith. Shedenham in the lane. There's Bastianoni at the top. Champion got all the way out, almost got it in with the right hand though. Backed up about 4 feet away from the rim to get there. Crawford with the ball, directing traffic for the Bobcats. Over to Zaire Green. Back to Crawford, long 3. Beautiful shot from the corner, right along the bench. He'll get hyped up for that one. Lead cut down to 3 for the Nighthawks.
Georgia College, first time they've been in one possession in a while.
Nighthawks got to find a little rhythm offensively as Bastianoni handles a high pass from Bethea. Mid-range jumper. That one goes. Bastianoni with a nice shot.
Playing with a renewed sense of confidence, he is.
With the ball, Rigsby. Rigsby working against Sutton Smith underneath. Fadeaway, that's in. Lead back down to 3. Sutton Smith, Shedenham, Bastianoni, Bethea, and Champion underneath on the floor. And we got a floor foul here. And we're going to have a whole bunch of substitutions coming up. Christian Koneman's going to check in, as well as Luke Chisholm. So 2 North Georgia young men going to be checking in. And also for the Nighthawks, we're going to have a substitution. That's Case Roach coming back in now, as well as A.J. White. Off goes Champion. Roach, Shedenham, Bastianoni, Smith, and A.J. White on the floor right now. Mid-range jumper for Smith. That one goes.
Good answer there.
His first points of the second half. Playing good defense here now. Crawford and Smith have been battling here in the second half. Been a lot of fun to watch. Foul called. Interesting call there. I believe that was the foul against Roach. Maybe against Smith.
I thought on the whistle that was going to be a player control foul.
Yeah. So to the line, Christian Koneman, as we mentioned, out of Chatsworth, Georgia, and Christian Heritage. That's the Northern Christian Heritage. There are 2 Christian Heritage high schools in the state of Georgia, just to make things confusing. Chatsworth, over in the Murray County area. Makes the first free throw, cuts the lead back down to 4. Again, you got to give the Bobcats credit, hanging around.
No doubt.
You know, it seemed like for a while there they were getting ready to get run out of the building. And the second one misses everything except a little bit of the net.
They've done a really good job of slowing us down offensively as well.
We were talking about the Nighthawks were on pace for a 92-point game. Going to be lucky to break 75 right now at this pace. Again, 59-55. A.J. White calls for the ball, tips it over with a lot of speed underneath the Roach, lays it up and in. Beautiful play.
Nice confident take by Case from the corner. A.J. got a little bit of an errant pass under control and was able to get it to Case. Had Georgia College at a disadvantage after extending to full court pressure.
Clock now under 9 minutes left to play. Mid-range jumper contested but put in anyway. That was a great shot by Crawford over the outstretched hand of Roach. A.J. White to the side, working his way in and out of traffic. Gets it back out to the big man Roach. And out of bounds. Again, Nighthawks up by 4. They're still maintaining that 2-possession lead.
Yeah.
Just when you see what it was, it's a little disappointing. We'll see if the Bobcats can maintain this pace. So you've got Crawford against Shedenham. They've switched now. Back out top, a good look here for Kahneman. The big man doesn't go. Shedenham, good job getting the rebound as that was contested. Bastianoni mid-range jumper. That one goes. He looks smooth right now. His last 2 games, he's just been as impressive as they come.
It's post up back to the basket. Leaned in, got the space he needed, and leaned back for the jump shot.
Shedenham working against Luke Chisholm. Again, Dawsonville native. Mid-range jumper, doesn't go. Richard Crawford been taking a lot of the shots here in the second half for the Bobcats. Cross-court pass here to Chisholm. Working in. A lot of contact underneath.
Oh, wow.
Offensive foul called. And that'll send us to another media timeout. So we'll pause with them. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
A staple in downtown Dahlonega, the Smith House Country Store, Restaurant, and Hotel offers various types of accommodations for visitors and has been serving family-style country cooking since 1922, just off the historic Dahlonega Square. Amicalola Propane is locally owned and operated and provides propane sales, service, and repair to farms, homes, and businesses. Amicalola Propane is dedicated to making customers' lives more comfortable, and their knowledgeable staff will help with both residential and commercial propane needs. Walton & Company Realty is dedicated to serving you with all of your real estate needs. Their team of professionals will help you with everything from transaction coordination, marketing, and representing you as a buyer or seller, and has a goal of making your transaction run as smoothly as possible. For more information, visit waldenco.com.
You see Coach Dan Evans having a heated conversation, a little bit fiery over there. You got to feel like he's not pleased with the fact the Nighthawks are only up by 6. Again, maybe if we had said that to start the game, we would feel all right about that. But considering where they were, certainly a little bit to be desired.
Be interesting to get a boom mic in that huddle.
Probably wouldn't be able to put it out on the air.
No.
Coach Evans, one of the more animated characters, is Ryan Aquino, the head coach for the Bobcats in his first season. You mentioned a longtime assistant at Georgia College. He's a little bit more reserved. North Georgia will take over in inbounds. A.J. White, Shedenham, Billups, and this one is over to Bastianoni for a 3. Misses almost everything, and Champion are the 5 on the floor for the Nighthawks. In response, Chisholm, Koneman, Sloan, Crawford, and Brandon Thomas, all for the Bobcats. 63-57. Mid-range jumper, misses everything. But a nice rebound by the Bobcats. At the end, Billups comes away with it, though. The shot clock became a factor as Sloan tried to put it up quickly, but could not do it. Champion swings it out wide. Six and a half minutes left to play here in the second half of action. Bastianoni inside, working, gets the foul and one.
Yeah, good things are going to happen anytime we can get a post entry down around the charge circle. Our posts are too talented to be able to just have to take one dribble to be able to get on the rim.
Brendan Rigsby and Ryerson check into the game as Bastianoni attempts his free throws. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification for our friends on Glory Sports Radio 97.5 and 1330 AM. Back to the Convocation Center on the University of North Georgia campus. Bastianoni missed the free throw, so only 2 points off of that. But does extend the lead back out to 8. As the Bobcats have slowed down just a little here. But driving in is Chisholm, trying to generate some offense, and does with the right hand. Hard shot there, but did a good job putting it up and in.
Yeah, nice drive there. Turned the corner, did Chisholm, and was able to, similar to his colleague Harper Vick there on the women's side, get the shoulder in, separate, and finish.
Georgia College certainly has some movers and shakers, as that is tipped away off the hand of Sloan, and now the Bobcats with numbers in transition gets it over to Thomas, back out to Rigsby, trying to work underneath against Billups, and they have to kick it back out, so North Georgia able to get the defense established. Here's a contested three, misses the rim, hits the backboard off of Chisholm's hand. A.J. White gets it poked away by Chisholm.
Offensive.
Yeah, used the forearm there, did Rigsby. He's also started to lose control of himself. All of that played into that call.
He plays with a really high motor. I think he had made his mind up. He wanted to get that at the rim, and on the spin back move, chicken winged a little bit too much with that offhand.
Roach and Smith check in for Bastianoni and White. Zormopper gets some work in. Back to work go the Nighthawks again. Shedenham. Over to Smith. Good pass around the defense to get that to Billups, and then over to Champion. 5 minutes left to play. Up by 6 are the Nighthawks. Trying to alley-oop it up. Doesn't go. Champion underneath. Contested shot. Almost laid it up and in anyway. He's been dominating the inside there early. And a little bit as of late as well.
One thing that people can't really quite understand that aren't here in the building, how good Frank Champion as a big is in such tight spaces.
Just has skills to play everywhere, really. Yeah. And utilizing him inside right now, as that's off the foot of a Bobcat. And substitution here quickly. Christian Koneman checks over for Austin Sloan. Champion at the top. He's going to be working against Brandon Thomas. Nighthawks patient. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. They can run it down to 4 minutes even if they would like. Oh, wide open look here for Shedenham. Great feed by Champion, just misses, but a nice offensive rebound from Billups. Stoppage and play, I didn't see the call.
It is going to be a media here, but we'll talk about it on the backside. It's a shot clock issue.
Shot clock issue. While they're pausing for the media timeout, we'll take it with them. You're watching North Georgia basketball and the Nighthawk Sports Radio Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
From the Convocation Center on the University of North Georgia campus in Dahlonega, Georgia, Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, the rest of our Nighthawk Sports Network staff, thank you for being with us. As the officials are over at the scorer's table, took a look at the monitor, wanted to discuss the shot clock. And you see the Nighthawks gathered around Coach Evans. So they hold a 6-point lead, 65-59. And just worth noting, Georgia College now in the bonus. And Georgia College has 6 fouls of their own, so this could be a slower into the game as both teams could move into the bonus.
Yeah. This last segment's probably going to take a while here. I want to know how much time they're going to give us. I think it's going to be really short on the shot clock.
Long conversation still going on. You know, it's one of the nice things about basketball is some other sports have a hard time reviewing stuff where there's a lot of rules. Basketball, you can pretty much review everything, which helps. I mean, get the call right, all aspects. So 2 seconds put on, and 4:02 put on the game clock. So 2 on the shot clock, 4:02 on the game clock. So inbound it and shoot it up real quick. And you see Coach Evans getting an explanation there from one of our officials. Doesn't seem too upset about it. Happy enough to get the call.
I thought it would definitely be under 5 seconds.
Yeah. 2 seconds is pretty much long enough to just catch it and put it up. I mean, you don't really have time for a dribble. Here to inbound. Shedenham off the hand, and now we've got a big breakaway here for the Bobcats in transition. Lays it up with the right hand. Nice move, Brandon Thomas.
Big time finish there.
Back within 4. The Bobcats just won't go away. Again, Hunter Shedenham. Greg Billups, you see him working. Trying to find a little room with Ryerson, doesn't work, gonna need some help. Gets it out to Champion. Roach fakes the 3. Little range inside. Billups also fakes the 3. Look at this ball movement. Shedenham's gonna take the 3. That one's in. Nice shot.
That is so good. That could be the best possession of the night so far there. Sharing the basketball, shot fakes, extra passes.
Lead back up to 7. Also makes the 3-possession game. As Shedenham picks the pocket of the Bobcats here. Nice pass. Champion hammers it home.
Oh my goodness.
This crowd was waiting for that one. (70-61). Nighthawks quickly out to a 9-point lead now. And here's a 3 from the Bobcats, and that one is shot. Ryerson, beautiful.
Good answer there.
Take us to a timeout. See Champion and Coach Evans having a conversation.
Might be asking him to be a little bit more friendly on the rim. I think that thing's still shaking.
Keep the action here for you throughout the timeout. You know, you got to give credit to Georgia College. You know, obviously a 2 overtime loss against Young Harris to start the Peach Belt Conference play. Less than 48 hours later, turn around, take the trip over here to Dahlonega. They put up a great fight. Looked like they were down and out. Obviously came out of halftime a little fired up. Down by 6, you know, that's the thing, is that great play by Champion. You think, all right, you know, up by 9. Look at the board now, and up by 6. So just a quick transition. The official comes over and gives our own Lee Glenn a little bit of an explanation. Again, you know, basketball, one of the sports where you get so much access to information.
Got briefed by the official there that we'll get another media timeout on the next whistle.
Okay.
So,
gotta love the communication that officials have with, you know, I was talking about the review being able to, in basketball so big, but the communication is huge as well. So 2:42 left to play. Nighthawks up by 6, 70-64. Nighthawks the inbound here. Hunter Shedenham. No personnel changes for the Nighthawks off of the timeout. And it doesn't look like any changes for the Bobcats either. Over to Billups, back to Roach. Champion underneath the Billups, spinning around, finds a little room, just off the mark. Billups has 9 on the night. Good defense inside, and we've got a foul underneath. That was Brendan Rigsby trying to drive along the baseline. against, you mentioned Billups. And there's the timeout, and we'll take the timeout with them. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Lynn Cottrell Arena at the UNG Convocation Center in Dahlonega, Georgia. Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, the rest of our Nighthawk Sports Network crew. Been a great night for basketball. We had the women's game a little bit earlier. You can watch that replay on our website as well, if you are so inclined. Certainly a great game over there. A couple of great ball handlers went back and forth. And here with the Georgia College Bobcats, the first half maybe not so much exciting for around the league, but here in the second half, man, Georgia College came back roaring, and they've stayed within this two-possession metric, and no matter what the Nighthawks have done, they haven't been able to extend past that.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's couldn't stretch it. I think got to be about 18, and then it shrunk real quick, and been a really competitive game since.
They did get it up to 9 for a second, and then just to turn around, Georgia College made a 3 and brought it back within 6. So to the line for 2 is Brendan Rigsby after the foul. Checking into the game for the Nighthawks, Bastianoni. Outside of him, Smith still on. Shedenham still on, Champion still on, and Billups still on. For the Bobcats, Sloan, Coleman. As both free throws are made by Brendan Rigsby. Luke Chisholm also on the floor, as well as Brandon Thomas. Going into the final 2 minutes. Lead cut down to 4. Bobcats forcing the issue now. Good ball movement. Champion spinning, turning, working, just a little bit out of his reach. Almost tries to get his own rebound and barely did, but over the back, Chisholm got it. Now take it over to the Bobcats. Under 2 minutes to play. Here's a 3 from the corner, doesn't go. Billups with the rebound. And another, oh no, a hard foul. Everyone was waiting with bated breath for Champion to lay it down again. But Brendan Rigsby said, I've seen enough of that.
Yeah, that's a good foul, actually. No harm there. Good pass by Hunter. Get that thing over the defender and make him earn it from the free throw line. It's good basketball from Georgia College there.
We'll have a substitution coming in a minute. Ryerson for Georgia College will check in. And as you see, a winning foul there.
Yep.
So checking out is Brandon Thomas. Thomas been a huge part of the game tonight. 7 points, but 5 rebounds. And credit Chisholm, looking up at the board, has 9 rebounds for the Bobcats. As Champion does hit 1 out of 2, and that does extend the lead back out to 5. Minute and a half left, just under. 71-66. Bobcats with the ball. Need a 3 and a 2. Driving in for the 2. That's Chisholm. Missed. Put back up. Missed. Now we got a whistle somewhere. And I believe it's going to be is it a loose ball foul? Again, both teams in the bonus, so. Looks like Brandon Thomas is going to check right back in here. But to the line will go Chisholm. Nope. He thought he was. It's actually Chris Koneman. Now we're going to have a conversation amongst the officials.
Yeah, I'm not sure they got the foul credited to the right person.
Short conversation, don't reckon it mattered that much. Coleman hits the one, brings it back within 4. And again, that substitution, that was Ryerson who checked in for that one little play there, and Brandon Thomas comes back in. Just long enough to get some Gatorade. And they hit both free throws. This lead back down to 3, folks.
One possession and showing some extended pressure, reminiscent of the game on Saturday afternoon. Need a good offensive possession here.
Here we go, Champions got it. Shedenham on the floor, Sutton Smith outside. He's been a big part of this team here early. Bastianoni, find underneath the Champion, hard drive, doesn't go, but gets the foul. And you see Koneman knows how important this is, because all Champion has to do is hit 1 out of the 2 to knock it back within a 2-possession game. You see the North Georgia coaching staff wants to discuss this with the crew. Again, 1 out of 2 will do it. You'd love to see both of them just for the sake of if there was a second possession for them. But hits the first one. Checking back in, Ryerson, this time for Austin Sloan. You see the Nighthawks going to be playing behind as both of them are made. So lead back out to 5 now. 50 seconds.
Turnover.
That ball goes out of bounds. And we have another substitution, so Ryerson checks back in for Sloan. And that was out on the Bobcats. Do you foul here?
No. Oh, yeah, you got to foul here. I mean, but you want to extend your pressure first.
Loses it. Bobcats get it.
For that to happen.
Just over 30 seconds left. Here's a 3. Beautiful shot. Austin Sloan, timeout called. Goodness gracious. Down to a 2-point lead again for the Nighthawks. Well, if there's one thing that can be said about these Peach Belt Conference games we've had the opportunity to watch.
Yeah, they're all like this.
Extremely competitive here early. We mentioned a widening gap there late as both teams kind of cooled down. North Georgia settled into it. You mentioned both teams go through a settling down. And then since then, it's really been UNG kind of surviving the Bobcats' onslaught. And whenever you think the Nighthawks are going to get away with it, the Bobcats keep coming back and pulling them back in.
Yeah.
And now with 33 seconds left, they're going to at least get a shot to tie it if you can't do something with your offensive possession.
You were asking earlier, do you foul here? And I think Georgia College executed perfectly. The strategy was going to be pressed to a turnover and then foul in the backcourt. And they got the turnover and resulted in a made 3. So definitely probably going to see some extended pressure here. And would probably only situational foul. Although there's really all good free throw shooters. I'd imagine that if Frank touches it in the paint, probably going to give one there.
Frank right in front of us here at the scorer's table. Billups to inbound, Shedenham mid-range. Sutton Smith the hot hand tonight, and Bastianoni the other hot hand of the weekend. Over across the way, again 33 seconds, so the Nighthawks can't burn the entire time no matter what, with that 30-second shot clock being a factor. Has good pressure, and the Nighthawks had to burn a timeout there to keep from the violation.
Plenty to burn.
Yeah, got to be down to 2 after this, I believe. I believe that was.
Yeah, that's what Georgia College is. I mean, they're executing well here, so what we're going to have to do is, which we did really well, is inbound the ball. It's then handle that first wave of pressure, making sure that we keep the basketball moving, knowing that if we keep it moving, we'll take a layup. but knowing that they're going to have to give that foul at some point.
Again, highly contested here. You know, both these teams have been battle tested early, both overtime games. Georgia College, the loser on their 2 overtime game against Young Harris. We obviously were here to watch the Nighthawks claim victory over the Flagler Saints on Saturday in an overtime thriller. So they're used to these late game heroics.
Yep.
But hopefully the Nighthawks' experience of winning those games late can help benefit them here instead of Georgia College, who has not had that benefit yet. Billups to inbound. Again, good job here by the Bobcats. And there's the foul. So they're going to send Billups to the line.
So it's 5-second foul. So you take a 5-second. Can you steal the inbounds pass and then foul? Greg is the guy they're going to send to the line. Greg on the year is shooting 60 even, 6 of 10.
So again, not a lot of stats, you know, not a lot to go off of there.
And those 10 free throws maybe not have meant as much as these couple do.
First one doesn't go everywhere but in. Off the front of the rim, back of the rim, and then back out. So now if you only make the one, it's still a 3-point game. And Georgia College has had a lot of success shooting the 3. He does make the second. So now the best they can do is tie in one possession. You think they're going to try and burn all the time on this possession?
No, they're going to take their they're going to run their high horns look. Probably try to get 11 on a comeback 3 here.
Well, there it is, but it's off the mark and rebounded underneath by Ryerson. So back within 1. Now difficult inbounding. Bastianoni gets it, tried to foul him. Got to get hands on him, right? There we go. Foul called on Chisholm. Again, Chisholm had a good night tonight out of Dawsonville. 10 rebounds, 8 points. Up to 4 fouls now, but to the line goes Sutton Smith. He's shooting 80% from the free throw line coming into tonight. So a little bit better free throw percentage. And misses the first one as well. So now that's a real bummer. Obviously, the implications of this shot are huge. And he does make the second, so Georgia College, 14.5 seconds left.
Probably going to burn a timeout right here, I'd imagine. Get sideline in.
And that's where they will take it. Well, again, for the second home game in a row, fans.
They are getting their money's worth if you want close basketball, for sure.
And again, really a big credit to the crowd here at Lynn Cottrell Arena. Great student section behind us. I know it's finals week. You know, hopefully the students to our right are using this as a little bit of an avenue to let out some
study break,
steam.
yeah. Say what you got to be careful of here is a team like Georgia College that, you know, on the road, you talk about just stealing one. They may attack the rim, right? But they may also, if there's a wide open 3, they may take it as well. So you've got to guard the whole court. It's not like they were in a situation with the other night at the end of regulation where they just had to defend the arc, which we didn't do very well because we were halfway committed to fouling and we just didn't execute there. Right now we got to guard the whole court. That makes it just a little bit more interesting.
Times like these, you kind of say, you know, go for the win on the road, go for the tie at home.
Yeah.
And we'll see what Georgia College decides to do. Again, 11.8 seconds left to play. Thank you for all joining us here on the Nighthawk Sports Network and our friends at Glory Sports Radio, 97.5, 1330 AM. Will Cooper, Lee Glenn, the rest of our Nighthawk Sports Network crew, thanking you for joining us here on a Monday night. Student section to their feet to our right. You see the lineup.
Here we go.
Bastianoni, Shedenham, Billups, Champion, and Mikhail Bethea. Here to inbound for the Bobcats, Ryerson. Up top, tipped away by Champion, but caught by Sloan. Long 3, just off the side. We got a loose ball scrum. Wow, that was a long shot. Kind of feel like maybe they would have rather had found a better opportunity.
So they ran a back screen for a 2 at the rim, a quick 2 at the rim.
They're going to bring some guys over. Shedenham to the line, shooting just over 55.5% on the year, which again isn't great, but not a large sample size yet. .4 seconds left. If you make 2, it's a pretty good look. If you make 1, it's all right too. Does make the 1. Let's see if he can put it at least a little bit out of reach here with another one. Don't want to say anything's impossible at this point.
That would most likely do it, though.
Again, 5.4 seconds. Both teams in the bonus. 76-73. Dagger. Up by 4. Bobcats will have to go quick and figure something out on the back end. Put up a mid-range 2 off the glass. That'll do it, folks. Your hometown Nighthawks come away with another dramatic win, 77-73, moving to 2-0 in conference play, 7-1 overall. Man, oh man. They find a way to make it stressful at the end. You got to give credit to the Bobcats. We mentioned it a couple times, but staying in there fighting and had a chance right up till the very end. And with all of that, Lee, your final thoughts?
I think that it's a hard-fought win against a Georgia College team that would just refuse to go away. I think that we leaned on our experiences from Saturday night and finishing a close game. PBC League win for the Nighthawks.
You see Coach coming over, giving the student section a round of applause, thanking them for being with us. And we appreciate you all for being with us. For our friends on Glory Sports Radio 97.5, 1330 a.m., and for all the staff here at Nighthawk Sports Network, I'm Will Cooper. For Lee Glenn and the rest of us, thank you all so much for being with us. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.